I believe that men have some solid scoop on how to date men. I find that they give really good advice, especially when it's their sister, their daughter, or a female loved one. Fathers, father figures, older men, even married men. The key is to make sure you're talking to a man that's coming from a healthy place. Those are the right ones to get good advice from with regards to men. So I came across a thread where a young lady was asking married men about their take on what a single lady who wants to get married basically should know. Here are my top 5 of the comments I saw in the comment section. Let's get into it. So Kyle J. Howard says, as someone who has been doing crisis marriage care for over a decade, please don't settle. Don't go against that internal instinct. I promise you, the struggle of loneliness is alone isn't as bad as the struggle while in a marriage. Because marriage created a prison, not a sanctuary. Make sure the man you marry actually likes you. Many men love what women can give them, but don't actually like women, not even their wife. You cannot change a man, but a man in love is a man willing to change. Let's process that. Men tend to have a model of what wife material is. Many times it's about what the woman can do, the function she can do: cook, clean, care for the kids. So basically, like Kyle said, many men love what women can give them, but don't actually like the women. That some of these men date women or marry women who they're happy to keep at home, to keep the home, while they go outside to get the love of their life or to get an experience that they're not getting at home. It presents problems already because this man will most likely have to have a double life. And then the wife he has at home is most likely not to have a fulfilled life as a wife. So technically, he's just shortchanging both of them, himself and his wife. And I believe that people should really marry who they like. Date a person you like. There's a difference between you being with someone you like and love than you being with somebody you love but you don't like. Let's get into another response now. Myron Boydie says, learn them before you love them. It'll save time and heartbreak. Don't just look for a man who is intentional. Discern the intentions. Bad men know how to be good men until it's too late. Be guarded without having a hard heart. Let's pause and meditate on this for a bit. You see, I find that these days, when a woman says a man is intentional, she's saying he's spending money. And that's so wrong. That mindset is actually very, very wrong for the woman because she's going to end up picking a man based on the things he does, not for who he is. So Byron says, learn them before you love them. You see, there has to be a time gap between when you meet this person and when you emotionally invest in this person. And I'm speaking to women specifically. Many times women too quickly engage the emotions before they know the man, before they vet the man. You have to learn to detach until it's okay to attach. When you attach prematurely, you're setting yourself up for problems later. As far as I'm concerned, love comes from knowing. You can't love what you don't know. You got to know this person before you love this person. But unfortunately, women, and it's our nature, but you see, this is the part where you need to swim against the tide of your nature. It's our nature for a reason because there's a time for those emotions to kick in powerfully. When the relationship is solid and consolidated, this is part of what takes it the long haul. But when you engage the emotions earlier, then that's a pitfall. He says, don't just look for man his intention. Discern the intentions, yes. Some people are going to be coming at you. I told my friend one time, I said, look, the difference between a bad man and a good man, you really can tell in the beginning. Because they'll both be doing things right by you. But give it time, then you'll know which one is right for you. Then that's very delicate balance between being guarded and not having a hard heart. This is where your boundaries come in. This is where your standards come in, right? Your boundaries are supposed to protect you. They're supposed to keep the wrong people out and keep the right person in. There's a very fine balance there. You're not hard, you're just very principled. You're not hard, you have standards. You're not walled off, you have boundaries that will open when it's time and for who is right. Let's look at other comments. Michael Isolomonesar says, look for 5 things while dating. He reads and actually follows the Bible. 2, he comes from a decent family, preferably a good family. 3, he has a healthy friend group. 4, he knows how to express himself. 5, he's open-minded and listens to understand, not to argue when you express yourself. Notes, success and happiness are earned, not inherited. Don't date for looks and money, but don't entertain men that lack ambition and or you're not attracted to. Chemistry and personal drive are important. Let's break that down. Okay, so the first one he reads and actually follows the Bible. This is speaking to Christian men, right? For Christian women. If you are another religion, this may not necessarily apply to you. And then there's a nuance to this because some wolf in sheep clothing are in the church. They are not of God, but they are in the church. People like that are going to read and perform the Bible. Hello. The performance of the Bible is going to look like he's following the Bible, but I need you to check for fruits of his walk. I need you to check for his character, not just what he's saying. Some people will talk the talk, but they really don't look like the talk. Their walk is different. There's that dissonance between what they say and what they're actually doing, especially in private. Who they are in private has to match with who they are in the public. And for such a man, if you encounter him and he's interested in you or he's even dating you, if there's any form of confusion about how he deals with you in private and how he presents in public for the saints, for the believers in church, that confusion is your sign. So basically, you're looking for a man who has integrity. A man who he is, whether he's in private or there's somebody watching. That's a man that you can say follows the Lord. You need a man who is following the Lord, not just the Bible. Many people read the Bible. Bad people read the Bible. You need a person whose heart is changed, not just a person who knows the words. You need a man who embodies the Spirit of God. Number 2, he comes from a decent family, preferably a good family. Look, no matter how we want to look at it, especially on the African side of the world, the family you marry into is important. I will say that it's easier to marry a bad man from a good family than it is to marry a good man from a bad family. I won't go into what I mean by that, but I want your brain to just kick in. And honestly, you don't have to pick either of these men. You want a good man from a good family. You want a good man who has decent, firm boundaries with his family. Because sometimes his family might be good, but they love this man. And then sometimes they can just be overbearing. You need a man who is good and who is firm with his family concerning you. He has to have boundaries in place that put respect on you as much as it puts respect on his family too. Number 3, this is very, very important. He has a healthy friend group. There's a saying that you're a sum total of the 5 people that you spend your time with. It's true. They are your friends because they probably have the same value system as you. They're your friends because you spend time with them. You're going to absorb some of their philosophies, their personal philosophies. These people are going to influence you, if not control you. So, his friend group is a good indicator of who he is, beyond what he's showing up to you. He can't have friends who are cheats and he's claiming to not be unfaithful. No. If it's not who he is, he's going to be repelled by their behaviors. He won't be a friend in that group. So because like terms come together, his friend group is a good indicator of what his values are, what his character is like. Look out for that. Vet his friends. He is who his friends are. Number 4, he knows how to express himself. This is very important. Women actually have more dexterity with regards to expressing themselves. A good number of men kind of lock up, right? So you need somebody who is open enough, vulnerable enough with you to share from inside. It helps for intimacy. You need somebody whose cards are laid on the table and he's expressing how he really feels to you. Again, it helps for transparency. It helps for intimacy. It helps you guys have a good relationship. Also, they will say that men are logical, they're not emotional, but hey, anger is an emotion that men typically will embrace. So if this is all how he expresses himself with anger, that's your cue that that's not a healthy person. If all he knows to express with you is his anger, run. Anger is not the only emotion a man can express. Number 5, he is open-minded and listens to understand, not to argue when you express yourself. This is why this is very critical. You need a man who is teachable. It takes humility to learn from somebody else. And you need to know that this man is humble enough to learn from you, his woman. Because a lot of men walk around with that superior more than women attitude and mindset. People like that will feel that they are too big, too superior, too smart, and they can't get anything from you. You see, relationship, especially marriage, is exchange. You're going to exchange so many things, and you need to be with somebody who's willing to take an exchange from you as he gives you. So he needs to be open-minded. He needs to value your voice, value your opinions. He needs to be patient to sit with you and walk through your thought processes with you. And you see, women especially process their thoughts, clear their mind by talking. You need to have a man who values that thing, who honors it, who makes space for that. That's how he also provides for you. He needs to provide an enabling environment for you to express yourself freely and fully. You need a man with ambition, yes. And do not underestimate chemistry, especially if you're a church girl, right? They kind of downplay on this part about, being attracted to the person, your romantic interest. But it's important. Do not date for the looks, yes, but the looks are important. You want to wake up to your man in the morning and you like what you see. You want to wake up 20 years later and you like what you see. Whether it's his face, his body, and all that, that's not being superficial. Look, you're going to be connected for life, hopefully. You need to make sure that the person is somebody that it's pleasing to your eyes. Let's get into another comment. Rachel says, I met my wife when she was 35. She had had bad relationships and decided that she was okay with her house, her career, and her cats, and tended to herself. I was attracted to her intelligence, her strength, her wit, in addition to her beauty. Tend to yourself. There are men out there who are attracted to strong women. This is what it means to tend to yourself, to be okay to be alone. If the right man doesn't come, you're fine in yourself. You're not going to settle. You got to be fine. There's something very intrinsically attractive about a woman who is confident in herself, who is okay with herself and by herself. That sort of woman is a woman who is going to be a plus to a man when she does, and if she does, connect with a good man. But a woman who is man hungry, marriage hungry, male centered, will do backflips for a man. There's something very, very irritating about that. The only people who are going to like that, the only men who are going to like that are men who want to use you, chew you, and spit you out. Those men are not trying to come to you as an equal, as a partner. They're trying to come to you as a superior or a predator. Tend to yourself, because at the end of the day, even if everybody goes away, you still have you. Marriages fail. In fact, all marriages end. They will either end in a divorce or they will end in death. Who are you outside of the man? Who are you outside of the marriage? It's very important. Tend to yourself. Have dreams. Meet your goals. Sit with yourself and be okay with being alone. Love on yourself. Quality men actually love women who are good to themselves first. M.H. Vassell says, don't avoid conflict to keep the peace. The long-term quality of your relationship is shaped by your joint ability to navigate and address conflicts and difficult conversations while keeping your joy and your full selves intact, not shrinking yourself to appease each other. You see, one thing that people don't know, especially couples, is how to fight. And you need to understand that it's a given that you are going to have disagreements, because you people are two different people who are coming from different backgrounds with different personal philosophies. Part of being one is that there's going to be friction when there are two different opinions. It's in the blending to be one that you will rub up on each other, rub off on each other, and find what is middle ground or compromise or something you guys are going to throw away or pick up. So conflict is very important because it's going to happen. As far as I'm concerned, I will consider a relationship an unhealthy one if there's any claim that they have never had conflict, they've never quarreled, they've never had a disagreement. It simply means that one person is being buried there, and one person is the one who gets all he or she needs, while the other person is suffering in silence. So do not avoid conflict. Do not take the burden of always being the peacemaker or the peacekeeper. It should be a two-way street. The Bible does say that we should pursue peace with all men, with everybody. So both of you should pursue peace, especially when you're trying to keep your unit intact. But have those difficult conversations. Hash out the kinks in the relationship so that you guys have more understanding about each other, understanding about the path both of you are going to take for your relationship, to navigate the conflicts gracefully without breaking each other. Remember that it's you guys against the problem, not you guys against each other. If it ever feels like when there's a conflict, you're attacking each other, that's a problem. That is unhealthy. And then I'll stop here. There's so much more. If you want a part 2, please comment and then let me know. I'll get into a part 2 with the rest of the comments. But I'll close with this. SM Clark 206 says, the best advice I've ever had is this. It's not how you feel about the person. It's how you feel about you when you're with that person. Do you feel loved? Do you feel valued? Do you feel seen? That's what you should feel if it's the right person. But if you feel run down, drained, burnt out, abused, you deserve better than that. So that's all for today. I'll see you next time. Ciao.